Hey, I wanted to do a little something in order to honor my favorite Pokemon game. This was my first time writing a script and editing something, so feel free to leave feedback, as I want to improve along the way. And now, without any further ado, I present to you The Last First Journey. Log. Day 1. After having to give my name, gender, bank details, and social security number, I woke up slowly, realizing it's just been another fever dream. Right. I suddenly remembered. I'm on a train, heading towards the Reborn region. A lady with white hair, who's just been on the phone a second ago, approaches and sits on the seat right across me. She's apologizing for the wait and introduces herself as Aim, the manager of the Reborn League. I fancy her hair and we chat for a bit about the Reborn region. After asking for my ticket and looking at my name, she makes some ominous remark, and I feel an ominous presence behind me. But before I could turn around, she suddenly got up, grabbed me, and hurled us out of the window. Seconds later, the explosion goes off and I lose my consciousness. After explaining that throughout this run there are some certain rules, like fighting in set mode, no use items in battle, and some more, I clarify that this is not really a Nuzlocke, and wake up from another fever dream. What the hell was that about? Aim seems relieved I'm not hurt. The other people inside of the train who just died, they were non-playable, and thus non-important to the story anyway. No point dwelling on those corpses. We hear a crazy giggle and a lady with green hair approaches, gibbering all her jabberish. Throughout that incomprehensible speech I make out she's a gym leader. And her name's Julia. I think to myself everyone in this region must be crazy, as Aim left like it's just another day, telling me to go to Grand Hall, located in Opal Ward. I ignore the crazy lady and make my way. In front of the Grand Hall someone was waiting for me. She introduces herself as Victoria, and she tells me she's gonna help me get registered in this region. Seems like I'm an illegal. After getting my ID, I'm led to get a starter Pokemon. Inside the room, many Pokeballs, and they want me to make a choice. Don't they know I'm incapable if you give me too many options? I contemplate, and contemplate, until it was meant to be. The mud buddy wanna come along. So I name him Baron, and we tell Aim he made the choice for me. She seems frustrated about the long wait, but doesn't say anything. I take my leave, and outside an adorable boy is approaching. He's hitting on me and telling me he gonna be gentle. But I tell him I'm a top, and if you wanna rush things I'm gonna go hard and I'm gonna take my time. We win the battle and he's taking me to the Poke Center section to do some roleplay next. I tell him I like consensual non-consent plays and he gets all shy leaving. Victoria made her starter choice in the meantime, so she wants to battle now, and this time it ends quick, leaving me unsatisfied. The cat couldn't handle all that moisture. After the quick fun session she's giving me some Pokeballs, as well as cash, and tells me I'm free to do whatever, now that I have served my purpose. So I immediately hit up the next shop, spending all my new earned money, without any kind of self-restriction. As I'm about to leave, a weird fat slow bro is approaching me, saying he had an amazing Pokemon for only 500 bucks. But I tell him I already scammed myself and leave. I roam the nearby streets, and after some battles I come back to Grand Hall, having a small rest in the park, when a snake came by. It was friendly and wanted to hang out, so I added it to the team and named him Besso. We rescued a Zigzagoon from some boys who wanted to throw it off a bridge, and threw them off the bridge instead. Anyway, I name him Rival, and I have another short fever dream of him having an adamant nature with amazing IVs, except the 5 attack IV. I snap back and worry if I should have bought something to do against those fever dreams at the Poke Market. But worry is for sane people, so we carry on. After a bit we find a Pokemon Center in another part of the city, and use it for a small rest, before finding a lady who demands me to do a roleplay test. I did her test and enjoyed it more than I should have. Turns out I'm a steel type, whatever that means. But the lady only into fire, so I have to take my leave. We find an apartment with a hidden garden, and after convincing the owner that I'm trustworthy, by beating him and his Pokemon up, he let me into the garden and we found a Swabbler that we caught and named Cadmium. Then I did a bit more of sightseeing the city. Catched a silly Buta that was about to jump to its death, and told it now it's got friends. Named her Valkrinix and introduced her to the rest of the crew. We found a Teddiursa and played hide and seek with it, but it seemed upset about always losing and threw a fit. So I threw my balls at it until he submitted to me, and I named him Leto. After this little hide and seek session it's gotten late, so I tried getting back to the Poke Center to call it a day, but ended up lost and found myself in the homeless part of town, where I found a traumatized Esper. The little cat humanoid Pokemon has seen things it cannot forget. But love goes through the stomach. So I feed it and give it a head pat, and now it wants me to be his master. So I call it Crucier, asking him for directions before giving him the cold shoulder treatment. I reach the Poke Center exhausted, and as I make myself comfy, I can feel me slipping into the next fever dream. End of day 1.